What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Boxcar Cove. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, I want to start off this video by giving a shout out to Mike. I want to thank him for telling me about the road down here to Boxcar Cove a couple months back. I tried this little road and the road was covered in sand. It was very difficult to get here without 4x4. Mike actually told me that the road has been scraped, and indeed it has been cleared out. Lots of the sand is now off of the road, making it accessible for normal cars as well. And it goes without saying, we have to thank the park services as well for actually scraping the road. And that does grant us the opportunity to do some fishing here at Boxcar Cove again. Now, this is a particular spot that I like coming to during the spring, and that's simply to try and find some bass. When looking at posts on social media, you will see someone like St. George or people at Sand Hollow posting pictures of bass they've been catching, as well as some smallmouth down at Lake Mead. You're starting to see more and more pictures of these bass being posted. So the plan for today is going to be simple. Me and the wife, we're going to try out everything out there, see if we get on any fish. Alright, so this particular spot we're in, it's a very good looking spot. We have water almost all around us. Now, with the lower water levels, of course, Boxcar Cove is actually on our right side, but we're going to be fishing all over these waters, trying to see what fish we can find out there. Now, I know in this particular spot that we're in at the moment, people have been catching both largemouth bass and striped bass in this area, talking about baitfish and schools of baitfish and birds. But at the moment, the birds are all the way out there. You can see there's lots of birds way deeper into the water. Don't know if these cameras can actually pick that up, but way out there we have some birds. That means the baitfish aren't in close, and this is a bit of a problem. If all the fish that are chasing the baitfish are all the way out there, that means the fish that's going to be up shallow, maybe they're not feeding, or maybe they're up to start find some beds. So that's going to be our focus, trying to use lures to try and target the fish that might be up shallow. And that means we're going to be having to walk around quite a lot, make a lot of casts, try and see if we can get any fish that are being territorial. Now, we are, of course, throwing out one rod with anchovies as well. I'm not thinking that we're going to get too many fish. I'm not seeing fish around the shallows. So we have one rod out there with anchovies as well. If we don't get anything, let's hope at least for one striper or catfish on that thing at least. Alright, ladies and gents, it's been 4 hours of constantly casting, and between me and the wife, we haven't had a single hit out there. We tried all sorts of different lures, and we have the anchovies out there. No hits on anything. Now, give or take a few days, it's almost exactly a year since the last time I caught that 3-pounder bass last year, and another few weeks to make 2 years since the previous time I caught a 3-pounder out here. But both of the locations I caught those fish in, they are nowhere near the water. So this entire area looks a lot different, but that's not why we're not getting the fish. It's all to do with the time. Now, yes, you might get some fish down at Lake Mead or Sand Hollow Reservoir. You might be getting some fish out there, but at the moment here at Lake Mead, the waters are still too cold. Now, I believe the fish are still chasing baitfish, still fattening up, but once the water gets to the right temperature, they will start coming up closer to the banks. So I think in a few weeks or so, this will be a pretty good place to find fish. Clear waters, lots of good structure for them to hide, lots of places to make beds. So I think you'll find some good fish then, but at the moment, I think they're out deep. And it's for that reason that I don't think it makes any sense staying out here longer than need be. So what the wife and I am going to do is we're going to pack our stuff and head to a place where we think we can find some fish. So let's get to that. Alright guys, the wife is on a little fish. Told her we'll get some bass today, and we finally got a little bass. Not the fish we were looking for, but happy to get something at least.
There you go.
Let's quickly go get that fish back down to the water. The wife was happy enough to release her own fish, so she's going to put him down by the water again. And off he goes. And now the wife has the fun to climb this wall to get back up to where we're fishing. And for those of you who didn't know, we are at Lava Butte. This is the Las Vegas Creek. Alright guys, so the wife has a rather sizable one. We're going to see whether we can boat flip him.
I don't think we will be able to.
We only have 2-pound test line on there. This fish isn't 2 pounds, but let's see if we can get him up here.
I think I should go down there.
The wife wants to climb down onto the shelf, make sure she gets him, so let's rather do that.
Would you hold on to the...
It's a nice size one for this creek. Just want to keep his head in the water so he has some oxygen. And there we go, decent fish landed.
Where'd it go?
Alright, so this is a nice one for this creek. Nice, lovely mouth on him. Gonna get him back to the water. Alright, so good sized bass, and back to the water he goes. Alright, ladies and gents, the little hill we got back there, that little dark thing, that is actually Lava Butte. That is why I always call this spot Lava Butte. That, and because the internet talks about Lava Butte Wash, but this is of course Las Vegas Creek at the Wetlands Trail inside the Lake Mead area. And in my opinion, this area is not as pretty as where we started, but we specifically made our way here to try and find some fish. And if you think about it, the fish down in this creek, the water is a lot warmer than the water in the actual lake, so the fish should be more active, and the fish have nowhere to hide. They are where they are. And by making the move, we didn't get skunked. We got our fish out there. Now, luckily this is the first bass for the wife for the year. And you may even say to me, but Vernon, if you went to the BT Pond or maybe went to Sand Hollow, you might have gotten some better bass out there. And that is true. Different lakes have different times of the year when the fish start getting active and start going to the different phases, like the spawn phase. But I could have even gone to Floydland Park to get some fish. Point is, I wanted to try and get some bass from Lake Mead, and it would be quite simple for me to not upload this video, wait a couple of weeks and go fishing and catch the fish and do a video then. But I feel it's important to show a video where it's not all about the fishing. There is an important lesson you can learn in this video, and that is simply timing. Timing is everything. Given a few more weeks, would have seen some bass up shallow. However, at the moment the water was too cold and we had to change our plan, go and find a place where we can catch fish. Now of course, there's nothing wrong with being eager and going looking for the fish. You might be the first angler to discover when they're starting to bed and have a good day. So it's never a bad idea to go out, explore, see if you can catch the fish. And if it's not the right time, wait a couple of days or weeks and go try again. Alright guys, but that's where I'm going to call this video. Please do give us a little thumbs up for catching some fish out there. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, consider doing so, hitting the big red subscribe button, join my community. And nothing more to do other than thank the wife for going fishing with me. Thank you guys for following along, and like always, we'll see you next time.